Reggae Just Extra with Ras Dennis.
When Bunny Lee decided to record Max Romeo's Wet Dream, they went to Coxsone Dodd Studio 1 on Brentford Road, now Studio 1 Boulevard. Dodd was at the mixing board when Romeo began to sing, prompting Dodd to stop the tape. "Bunny Lee, where did you find this artist and ridiculous lyrics?" Dodd demanded. "I'm not going to be part of this." Lee was insistent, explaining that he had paid for the studio time and that no one could dictate what he was supposed to do. When Dodd left the mixing board in frustration, Lee turned to Errol Thompson, who was then an apprentice engineer in the studio, and demanded that they continue recording. Unfortunately, the song was banned from airplay in Jamaica. Despite being released in England, it was also promptly banned after being played twice by the BBC. During an interview with YouTuber Teach Dem, Max said he was reluctant to record Wet Dreams, but decided to do so after much coercion from Bunny Striker Lee. This is the untold story of Max Romeo with Ras Dennis. Born Max Smith on November 22, 1947 in the rural district of St. and spent the first 10 years of his life in the parish before moving to Kingston to live with his father after his mother migrated to the UK. Like many youths before and after him, young Max soon became involved in the city's vibrant music scene. In 1966, he began working for Ken Lack, the owner of the now legendary Caltone label, taking on the roles of salesman and general errand runner. Max formed a group called The Emotions along with Kenneth Knight and Lloyd Shakespeare, and they enjoyed some early success at Caltone. However, tensions arose over who would be the frontman, leading to disputes within the band. For a short time, Max also served as the lead singer for the Hippie Boys, a group that included notable musicians like Aston Family Man Barrett, Carlton Carly Barrett, Alva Reggie Lewis, and Glenn Adams. After they recorded the song Dr. No Go for Miss Pottinger, Max chose to pursue a solo career. During this period, his good friend Bunny Lee was beginning to make a name for himself as a producer. Amused by Max's attempts to impress a local girl, Bunny gave him the nickname Romeo. Max had written the song Wet Dream, but he was reluctant to sing it himself. None of Bunny's established artists, including Slim Smith, Roy Shirley, or John Holt, were willing to record it, and even Derek Morgan declined to participate.
This is Reggae Just Extra, your #1 entertainment channel.
Bunny, a man never short of ideas, recognized the potential of a song that would later earn him the nickname Striker due to his remarkable talent for producing hit records. Although Max was initially reluctant, Bunny allegedly told him that if he didn't participate, he would be out of here. Consequently, they arrived one night at Studio 1 on Brentford Road, where Coxsone himself was overseeing the session. As mentioned in the intro, when Coxsone heard Max sing the opening bars of Wet Dream, he was so appalled that he refused to continue and instructed his apprentice engineer, Errol Thompson, to take over on the mixing board. Rude or Slack records were not new to the scene, and with influences from American artists like Blowfly, they were experiencing a revival. However, the typical format focused more on boasts of sexual prowess than on themes of erotic dreams. Bunny quickly took Wet Dream to the Palmer Brothers in London, who released it on their Unity label. This was an exciting time for Jamaican music in the UK, as it enjoyed its first significant run of international success, largely thanks to its adoption by the London skinhead cult. The song played a pivotal role in introducing reggae to the British public, continuously selling and achieving an unprecedented 25 weeks on the UK national charts, where it peaked at number 10 despite receiving no radio airplay. The record was deemed so offensive that Alan Freeman was not allowed to mention its title on his Sunday afternoon Pick of the Pops show. He could only refer to it as a record by Max Romeo. The potent blend of humor and sexual suggestiveness ensured its popularity among UK audiences who had never encountered anything quite so explicit before. This experience was certainly a rude awakening for young Max, who was thrown into the deep end. When he arrived in the UK to promote the record, he adamantly maintained that his song had nothing to do with sex at all. He claimed it was simply a story of poverty in Jamaica, where the roof of his shack was constantly leaking, and we all know how much it rains in Jamaica. The chorus of Wet Dream, featuring the lines "Lie down, gal, let me push it up," actually refers to the ever-polite Max, who requests that his young lady move aside so he can push a broom up into the hole in the roof to stop a leak. So, we now understand that Wet Dream is not rude, it's about Max's good night's sleep being disturbed by a leaking roof. It's worth noting that everyone believed him, even though no one thought to ask him about the lines regarding "Give the crumpet to Bigfoot Joe," "Give the fanny to me," and Alan Freeman continued to refer to it as a record by Max Romeo. Despite any misconceptions, Max soon recorded several songs filled with innuendo, which, interestingly, also failed to receive significant airplay. To this day, Wet Dream remains his only entry in the UK charts. Surprisingly, the song was not a particularly big seller in Jamaica. Although he struggled to overcome the stigma attached to the record in the UK, Max faced no such issues at home, where he enjoyed hit after hit on Jamaican charts. In 1969, when he performed at the Royal Albert Hall, he was advised not to sing Wet Dream because the royal family was in attendance. However, after his performance, there were calls from the royal box requesting Wet Dream. Max's music career thrived in Jamaica, particularly with his 1971 recording for Derek Morgan's Hop label, "Let the Power Fall on I," which was adopted by the People's National Party as its campaign song for the 1972 elections, as Michael Manley sought to create a socialist Jamaica after a decade of Labour Party rule. As the rhythm slowed down and became dreader than dread, Max's contributions to the development of rebel reality music cannot be overstated. His distinctive and unorthodox recordings, especially with 90 the Observer and Lee Perry the Upsetter, set standards that others had to work hard to emulate. Max Romeo's collaboration with Lee Perry brought him back into the spotlight of the international rock press. This time, no explanations or excuses were necessary, and Max was finally able to shed his previous reputation as a singer focused solely on risque themes with the album War in a Babylon. Originally titled Simple Out Dead, the album provided incisive insights into the strife-torn ghettos of Kingston, capturing the worsening crisis on the streets of Jamaica. Island Records released the album internationally, and it became the best-selling long player of Max's extensive career. The powerful musical vision of the Upsetter complemented Max's lyrics perfectly. However, an inevitable falling out over finances occurred soon after, leading to a split between Max and Lee Perry. They would not work together again until 1988, when the duo reunited at Wacky's studio in New Jersey, USA. Revelation Time, released around the same period as War in a Babylon, was arguably an even stronger collection. Additionally, his 1987 album Holding Out My Love for You helped to further solidify his international reputation. In 2023, Max Romeo announced a final tour called The Ultimate Tour to pay his respects to fans. He will also be releasing a commemorative album ahead of his retirement from touring after 57 years in the music industry. That's all for this episode, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and leave a positive comment in the section below, and I'll see you again very soon for another important video.
Many thanks for watching Reggae Just Extra with Ras Dennis.